How's it going? Xander Fryer from Shit You Don't Learn in College, and today we're gonna go over the 5 steps to take any business from idea to profit in less than a year. Now, if you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, you've had that moment where you've had this groundbreaking idea, and you knew that if you implemented on it, it could change your life and it could change the world. But what did you do? You sat on your hands, you thought about it for a while, you didn't actually do anything, and then 6 months later, boom, you see your idea in the marketplace. And you see somebody with the exact same idea that you had making millions and affecting thousands of people's lives. How did this happen? Well, it's pretty simple, right? Now, the truth is we all have great ideas. Great ideas are like assholes. Everybody's got one, but most of us don't talk about them too much, right? So what we need to do here is we need to get you clarity on how to actually turn your idea into a profitable business. Because if you don't know what steps to take, you're never gonna take action on it. So the good news is, you can find pretty much everything on the interwebs these days, and I can just share with you the 5 steps that you need to take any business idea to profitability in 12 months. So let's go ahead and get into those 5 steps now. Now, the first step to taking any business idea to actual profitability is what we call market research, right? Now, a lot of people have great ideas, but not every idea is something that people will actually pay for. Just because you want to build something does not mean that people actually want to buy it. One of my good buddies is one of the best marketers in the world. His name's Sean Kemp, and he has a famous saying. He says, "You can't create desire." Most of the time when people start businesses, they start businesses from an idea that they want, from their vantage point, rather than doing the market research and seeing if it's something that the market actually wants. This is the first step when it comes to creating a profitable business, and it's one of the steps that most people skip. And the reality is, this is where everybody spends a ton of money, and they develop a product or a service that people don't end up buying, and their businesses crumble. So you can never skip this step right here. Now, the second step to building a profitable business is mentorship. Could you imagine trying to bake a cake without a recipe? What if you've never baked a cake before? You don't have a recipe, you don't have anybody helping you bake this cake, right? What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to Whole Foods, because we buy organic these days, right? So you go to Whole Foods, you buy a bunch of nice ingredients, you spend a bunch of money, you take that cake, you mix it all up, you have this batter, and then you put it in the oven, and you pull it out, 30, 40, 50 minutes later, and it's just a big ball of mush. Why? Because you forgot the eggs. You didn't know you needed eggs. Nobody told you needed eggs. You didn't have a recipe telling you needed eggs. So what do? You go back to Whole Foods, you spend a bunch more money on more flour and a new fancy whisk, and this time maybe you add a little bit of extra water, you mix it all up, you put it back in the oven, and what happens? It's still a big ball of mush, right? Because you still forgot the eggs. If you really want to be successful in business, you need to follow the people who have already done it, the people who have the recipe, who've baked great cakes before, and have them share the recipe with you and make sure that you follow it properly. Mentorship is the second step to building a profitable business. I have never met a successful entrepreneur who did not have some form of mentorship. Step number 3 is a doozy. It's what I call creating an MVP, a minimum viable product. Notice how I did not say a perfect product. Now, as we're going through school, we're taught that you have one shot at taking the test. You have one shot at getting the project right. When you're in a 9-to-5, you have one shot of giving that big presentation. So you think that everything needs to be perfect the first time around. I was an engineer, so growing up and going through school, I had to get everything right the first time. But then when you actually hit the real world, when you want to be an entrepreneur, when you want to invent something new, that's completely backwards. Now, I learned this in the tech world. When developing new software, new products, you come out with the bare minimum code and you put it out there so that you can find all the bugs and you can make it better. This is what I call putting out C work, right? Now, if you went through school and you're an A student or a B student, it's really difficult to put C work out to the public so that you can figure out how you need to get it better. But this is a crucial part of being successful in business. You have to put out a minimum viable product to learn what B- work is, B+ work is. Forbes actually did a study on this, and the high majority of successful entrepreneurs are actually C students. Mind-blowing, isn't it? But it's because they have a willingness to put out C work so they can learn what B and A work actually is. In the beginning, you have to put out a minimum viable product, expect it not to be perfect, expect it to have flaws, and expect to get better. Now, step number 4 to taking your business idea to profitability is sell the damn thing. In Ready, Fire, Aim, Mark IV details what it actually takes to take a business from 0 to 100 million in no time flat. And one of the things that he says is going up to your first $1 million, 80% of your focus needs to be based on selling, not on the actual product or service. And this is completely backwards from what most people think. Most people think they need to spend a ton of time refining their product, refining their service, getting it better, especially in the very beginning. But the truth is, 80% of your focus needs to be on selling the damn thing, because you're gonna learn more from selling the product than you are from creating a better product. You'll never know what makes that A product until you go sell a C product and people give you feedback and tell you what you need to get better. They're also gonna give you feedback on your messaging and how to sell it better. So 80% of your focus in the beginning of launching your business needs to be sales, which makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but it's the truth. And the 5th and final step to developing a profitable idea is getting feedback. Like we just talked about, when you get the MVP out there and when you start selling it, you're gonna get crucial information on number 1, how to make your product better, and number 2, how to fix your messaging and marketing based on how you're doing from a sales standpoint. You're gonna see what messages and what markets work really well for you and which ones don't. When you're willing to take this time to take feedback, you start to course correct and make the adjustments necessary to really get your business online to take off and move forward. One of my best friends was actually the founder of Manscaped. It's now a $500 million company. But when they were first starting off, they had spent nearly $100,000 just trying to develop a product, get the initial marketing and messaging down without selling a single unit. Now, they kept spending money, and when they sold their first 5 units, you know what the first thing that they did? The founder literally picked up the phone and called every single one of the first 5 buyers. They had now spent $100,000 just to get 5 people to buy a $50 product. He called the first 5 buyers to ask them, why'd you buy? What do you like most about the product? And what would you change? He got those 3 pieces of crucial information from those 5 people, made the adjustments to the product, made the adjustments to the messaging, made the adjustments to the marketing. The business took off. But it all came from his willingness to get feedback. Now, to summarize, those are the 5 steps to take any business idea to profitability. Number 1, do your market research to make sure that it's actually a viable idea. Number 2, get mentorship, get the recipe that you need to be successful. Number 3, put together an MVP. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be done. Number 4, start selling the damn thing even before you're ready. You're gonna get so much more feedback from selling the damn thing. And number 5, get feedback so you can make your messaging better, so you can make the product better, and you can be more successful moving forward. Now, we've used this system to develop multiple 7-figure businesses. My mentors have used this system to make billions of dollars in their businesses. So if you want to take an idea from 0 to profitability in under a year, all you got to do is follow it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like below to make sure to let me know that you enjoyed it. And if you have any specific topics that you want me to cover in the future, comment below and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any other great videos. I'll see you in there.